What's up, guys? Episode number 18, Take on New York Sports, January 29th. I'm recording this. Anthony Heaton, with you as always. Twitter, Instagram, Take on NY Sports, and let's get into it. Rangers, NHL. Last time we spoke, we had Ava was here with me, and it was after a brutal loss. Okay, the Tony DeAngelo shootout, lost to Pittsburgh. Since then, we lost to Pittsburgh in regulation by 1 goal, lost to Buffalo in regulation by 1 goal, and then there was last night where we played an excellent first period. Okay? What did we have to show for it? A 1-1 tie. They scored, I think Buffalo scored, I know it was like under a minute left to tie the game. And the good that came out of it was, that we showed some resiliency. And, we didn't fold like a cheap suit and all of a sudden, lose another 1-goal game like we've been doing. So that's the positive you take out of it. And obviously the big story is Laf gets his first career NHL goal. Beautiful 2-on-1 with Blackwell, who's, been playing well since he got called up from the taxi squad. So he steps in for Heaton. Does a really good job the last couple games. I think he's got points in 3 straight games now. But yeah, Lafreniere. He had, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 really good chances throughout the game. And you could almost sense that it was coming. He's been playing much better each and every game. And, good for him. Congratulations. He gets the first goal. Igor played pretty good, made some big saves, didn't get tested a lot. Defense played well. Okay, so what's next? A couple games again now, back at home against Pittsburgh, who we can beat, and we should have beaten. We should have at least gotten a split. But if we can get on a little winning streak, you could start to relax a little bit. And, it seems every team in our division, every game is going to overtime, shootouts. So both teams are getting points. And that's just a killer, especially this season where it's just divisional games. So you look at the standings right now. Washington, 5-0-3, 13 points. And you look at last place, that would be us, the New York Rangers, 2-4-1 with 5 points. The Islanders, 3-4-0, 6 points. So we're holding up the back of the division right now. Again, I know it's early, but with the short season, it gets late kind of fast. And the Islanders lost last night again, 6-3 to the Capitals. So they're not playing great as well. And you look at the top 4 teams right now, Washington, Boston, Philly, and Pittsburgh. You figure Boston, Philly will be there. Washington, I don't think they can continue this great start. And Pittsburgh, I'm still on the fence with them. Crosby, Malkin, you can never, you can never count them out. But we just got to get consistency. And with the way Quinn has been going back and forth, changing lines, I know things got disrupted when Heaton got hurt. Keeping Gauthier out again, I don't know. Jack Johnson's out. It's because he's hurt day to day, but who knows how, real that is. And the goaltending, Georgiev, Shesterkin, like, one of those guys, one of those kids has to take the bull by the horns. They got to take the reins, plain and simple. And I know it's tough when Quinn's going back and forth, a game here, a game there, 2 here, 1 there. But he needs one of them to just step up, and that's it. Give us a little 4-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak, something like that. And, then we can kind of get on a roll. And Igor's getting that chance right now, as he should. Was having a big debate with my daughter about this, and some of her friends as well. But to me, Igor is the future. And has he played better than Georgie this season? I wouldn't say that. They're both, they both played But I think right now they're on the same level. But the hope and, the want from the organization, I think, just my opinion, is that they want Igor to be the number one going forward, and that's that. And, here's his chance. He played better yesterday. Can he keep it going? Get a little momentum going? And we'll see what happens. As far as around the league elsewhere, nothing crazy going on. The teams that you expected to be there, to be producing at least are. And you got to give some credit to the Devils right now. They're only 500, 3-3-1, but you're hoping that, as for Devil fans, that they would have a bounce back year. And I know Lindy Ruff there now is the head coach, one of my daughter's favorites, by the way. Good for him. I think he just got his 1,500th game, as a head coach. So congrats to him. Buffalo as well. They're playing better. But then again, they always start off great and then come back down to earth. And as far as the other divisions, let's say the North, for instance, Toronto, big surprise, Montreal. Although Ava kind of was on the Canadians, when we made our picks. They're 5-0-2 right now. You got the Jets, who now have Pierre-Luc Dubois. And this trade actually went down right after me and Ava got done recording the last episode. So they trade Patrick Laine for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now, I get it. Both players wanted out. They were both disgruntled. And I don't know, man. To me, Columbus gets the better end of that deal. Laine's been a stud ever since he came into the league. And not to take anything against Pierre-Luc Dubois, but I don't think he's the same player as Laine. Laine can be, a top 4 or 5 player in this league for the next 10 years. And I don't think Luc Dubois is there yet. So we'll see how that trade, affects the standings and everything. And Columbus right now leading the Central Division with Dallas hot on their heels, because Dallas just, 4-0 right now. They look like a machine. Again, 4 games, relax. But, some good, exciting hockey. And let's just see the Rangers get on a roll here. All right? A couple games against Pittsburgh coming up Saturday and Monday. And then Washington. So, a chance to, I don't want to say gain on teams in front of us because everybody's in front of us. But, let's build some momentum and let's get going here, okay? Let's touch on baseball real quick. Officially, DJ LeMahieu, 6 years, $90 million. Officially, Corey Kluber, the 1-year deal, $11 million. And the Yankees also traded for Jameson Taillon. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. 2 Tommy John surgeries for him. He's, I think, 28, 29. The potential for him is similar to Kluber. Obviously, Kluber's much more established. So, you've seen more of what Kluber can be and what he was. But basically, we have, as we know, a bunch of what ifs and what could be's. Kluber returns to form, or at least close to it. I was talking to somebody today, or yesterday rather, on Twitter, that he brought up a point where if we can get 85% of Kluber, of what he was, I'm signing for that right now. That would be fantastic. And you got to hope that Taillon is, what we hope he could be. And if that's the case, we got a solid 1, 2, 3. Obviously, we know number 1 Cole, so we're not worried there. But as far as the back end of the rotation, that's where things get tricky. Severino, and I want to read what Cashman had said. He expects the timeline to be late summer. So he said, I know it's a vague time frame, but it sounds like there's a real chance that Severino won't make more than 6 or 7 starts. Okay. Do you just utilize him out of the bullpen then at that point? Because, do you waste that time trying to build up his arm strength, getting him to pitch, 4 or 5 innings in a game? I guess that'll all depend on Kluber, Taillon, Montgomery, Garcia. But the issue you're going to have with Garcia, Schmidt, maybe, Michael King, potentially, is that they are going to have innings limits on them. And that's just the way it is. This goes back to the whole Steven Strasburg thing where they shut him down when he first came up. And, it's the whole big debate. Does it save their arms? Does it hurt their development? There's both. You can look at it from both ways. But the biggest thing is, how do they perform? Because that's going to dictate, I think, where Severino fits in. If we're in desperate need of a solid 3rd starter, I guess maybe 4th starter, then we might have to stretch Sevy out quickly and just get a few starts out of him, hopefully in preparation for the postseason. And if that's the case, then that basically says that the kids didn't have a great year and didn't progress the way we would have wanted them to. So, it's all up in the air right now. Kluber says he's fully healthy. No more rehabbing anything. He's not worried about anything. At this point right now, it's a normal prep for spring training for him. So that's good news for us. We'll see how it goes. One last thing on the Yankee front is Masahiro Tanaka. We've discussed it a couple times over the past few episodes. It didn't seem like the Yankees wanted him back anymore. And I shouldn't say they didn't want him back, but they didn't want him back at the reported $15 million per year that he wanted. Now, like I said, reported $15 million he wanted from the Yankees. He was asking for more from other teams because he was pretty set on Yankees or Japan. And now it's official. He has returned to Japan, to his old team. And, thanks for a great 7 years. I think he only signed a 1-year deal back in Japan. So maybe we'll see how the season goes. Maybe next year he comes back. I don't know. But I was reading a lot of, people writing comments and articles and everything that he didn't live up to the 7-year contract. This is a debate, obviously. And do you look at it as it was unsuccessful because he was a Yankee and he didn't win a World Series? Okay, then it was unsuccessful. Do you look at it as just give me what we expected from a pitcher from Japan. What are we going to get out of him? And I would say that was a, great success. He gave us innings. He gave us quality innings. He was great in the clubhouse from what you hear. And, he did everything right when he was here. It's unfortunate that, maybe our best chance was that ALCS against the trash can banging Astros. And it's unfortunate we didn't get to the World Series. We didn't win it during his 7-year, tenure here. But he was really good. I was very happy with the signing. And, you look at all the other Japanese pitchers that have come to the States and played in the majors. Obviously, as a Yankee fan, you're going to instantly think of Kei Igawa, who was pretty much like the Carl Pavano, from Japan. And actually, you know what? That's not even fair to say because Pavano was injured a lot. Kei Igawa just stunk. I mean, he couldn't get on the field for anything. He was just terrible. And that was one of those, you take a flyer on him. He was hyped, and it just didn't work out. Daisuke Matsuzaka for the Red Sox, he was very good. Didn't last long, but, then there's just so many other comparisons you're going to make. Hideo Nomo, Hideki Arabu, and, overall Tanaka was really good. And he's on the top of that list of, pitchers from Japan or just Japanese pitchers in general. So, Masa, I know I speak for a lot of Yankee fans when I say this, but we love you. Thanks for the 7 years, and good luck on whatever happens. Also, good luck to Daniel Murphy in retirement, because he today officially announced his retiring from baseball after 12 years. He called it a beautiful 12 years. And Murphy was a hitter, man. He was, that Mets run when they went to the World Series against Kansas City. He was just, I don't even know the words. He hit a home run in 5-6 straight games, something like that. He was just demolishing the ball. And he was, decent defensively, but he was just a great overall hitter. Sort of that DJ LeMahieu as a lefty. So congrats to Daniel Murphy retiring and keeping talk of the Mets. They traded Steven Matz. Now, does this open up the door for Trevor Bauer, who they reportedly offered 3 or 4 years to him? And it's less than the $36 million annual average value that Cole is getting. And I know that was a big thing with Bauer. He's trying to get Cole money, Strasburg money, those sort of deals. I still don't think that's going to happen. But the Matz trade to Toronto, first of all, it helps Toronto because they need any sort of starting pitching they can get. And, with that offense, and now, again, not that Matz is a world beater, but, he's another starter out there. He's a lefty starter out there. And, he's going to help. So, on the Mets side of things, though, do they need to go for Bauer? Yes. Do they need to overpay for him? Absolutely not. You go in with what you have. Obviously, DeGrom, Stroman, Syndergaard will be back at some point. And, you bring Lugo back into the rotation. I don't know. You can't. And so far, Cohen's been smart. He's done what he said. He's not going to go out there and just spend drunken sailor type money. He is going to be smart about it. He's looking for not win a championship, make the playoffs this year. He's looking for a long-term, competitor. And that's what the Mets fans, I know, have been longing for. So I think they're still the favorites for Bauer because the Angels now have supposedly dropped out, and you still hear the Dodgers a little bit, but I don't know how true that is. So I think unless Toronto jumps in and just goes all in and says we need him to compete for a championship, I think he's going to end up with the Mets. And what else do we got on the baseball front? Jock Peterson signed a 1-year, $7 million deal with the Cubs. And the rumors again on Nolan Arenado are gaining steam. And it seems like it's Cardinals or nobody. And, the Cardinals just brought back Wainwright today. They signed him to a 1-year, $8 million deal, I think. Do they make the big splash? Do they make that commitment and trade for Arenado? Because that makes them, I'm not going to say they're on the Dodgers level, but that'll definitely make them favorites in the NL Central. So we'll see where that goes. Basketball, not much to discuss there, unfortunately. Knicks 3-7 in their last 10. Brooklyn 7-3 in their last 10. So obviously you see, which way these teams are trending right now. And, as far as the NFL, we had 2 great championship games. Tom Brady, am I surprised? No. Am I surprised at the coaching decisions about kicking that field goal at the end for the Packers? A little, but you still needed, you're still going to have to get the ball back and do something. And time was not on their side regardless. So, of course, then it sparks all the Aaron Rodgers talk, and he doesn't know if he'll be back, and blah, blah, blah. So, is he potentially on the market? We know Deshaun Watson's on the market, as he's made it official now. He's told the Texans he want to trade. Do the Jets trade for him? If I'm the Jets, I would. There's talk of the Giants potentially being interested, but, and I read a report, I guess half the league has inquired about him. But, of course, you're going to inquire, see what it would take. He's a great talent, but if you're the Giants, do you give up on Daniel Jones yet? I don't know. You would have liked to have seen more this year. Less injuries, less turnovers, a couple more wins. But I don't know. It's tough. We'll see. And I know Deshaun Watson has that huge contract that he just signed, I guess, the beginning of this season, I think it was. So we'll see how that develops. But we'll touch more on the Super Bowl as it's the defending champs, Kansas City Chiefs, and the ageless wonder, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And, we'll touch more on that next episode to get ready for the big game next Sunday. And, that's going to wrap up episode number 18, guys. Possibly do a live episode next week. I'm trying to be able to do it in the afternoon to make it a little easier on everybody. But, scheduling wise, I have to work, got to watch the kids, get them off the bus, all that sort of stuff. So, we'll give it a try, but follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Take on NY Sports. You guys will be up to date on everything as usual. So, until next time, guys, be well.